Hey guys, welcome. Welcome back, welcome home, welcome aboard. However that fits for you. To our last weekly What's Up for 2022. So this week we are having a conversation about the 26th of December through the 1st of January 2023. How about that? Let's just dive in. So Monday, the 26th, we start with an Aquarius moon squaring Uranus and conjuncting Saturn. The moon squaring Saturn, right, and all the energy that we have in Capricorn, right? We've got Pluto and Mercury and Venus in Capricorn. They really make this a great day to sit down with your vision board or your planner and start to create the visions, the really wide kind, right, that encompass everything, that encompass how you want to feel, right, not just next year, but always, right, for the future. Saturn and Pluto, right, those big outer planets, they're really creating like depth charges for Mercury and Venus, right, which are those more personal planets of expression and home, right, that sense of home that's better felt than spoken. And Jupiter also is sitting at 0 degrees Aries, right, coming back from his retrograde. So this is also inception energy, right? Practical planning, like foundational cobblestones, bricks and mortar. How are you creating, right? So it's really a time and a day especially for envisioning that concept of what comes next, right? It all starts here. So be in it. On Tuesday, the 27th, very early in the morning, the moon moves into Pisces, and before afternoon sextiles the sun in Capricorn, and then in the evening squares Mars, which is retrograding in Gemini. So here's the deal. Deepen into your heart and your soul. Do not make room for distraction or avoidance today, right? This Pisces energy really wants you to look away, to dive into TV or getting high or having some drinks or going to the gym a little extra or staying at work a little bit longer than you want to, right? Those are your distractions. Those are your avoidances. Those are how you cope, right? So do not make room for your coping mechanisms today. Stay in that flow. That moon squaring Mars really wants you to stay in it, especially with Mars being retrograde. Don't let your imagination drive today, right? Don't get sidetracked. Don't get derailed by anything that you coulda or shoulda or woulda, right? Don't numb out. Just face it. Face it today. And if you need help, reach out. Reach out. On Wednesday, the 28th, we start the day with Venus in Capricorn, sextiling Neptune, which of course is sitting in her home sign of Pisces. I do it all the time, Sarah Ludlow. It's coming, that class, that workshop. It's coming, lady, it's coming. Anyway, Venus is sextiling her higher octave of Neptune. The moon in Pisces will sextile Uranus, will conjunct Pisces, and then sextile Venus and Mercury and Pluto, all in Capricorn. So here's the deal. You're teed up for connectivity, right? Both 3D and the ethereal divine kind. So shift in behind it, right, in the most fluid way possible. Stay very floaty. Do not avoid, right? Do not avoid. The key here is to find that better felt than spoken sense of home and begin to allow it to become your deepest expression. If you really feel like you have to do something, and you may, right? You may, that's okay. get your lists written and your plans drawn up, right? This is a really yummy day, right? This is a really yummy day. And here's the deal. What happens on Thursday makes this a necessity. Get your lists written. Wow. Get your lists written and your plans drawn up on Wednesday, because on Thursday, the 29th, Mercury moves retrograde, right, in Capricorn. Very shortly after that, the moon will slide into Aries and then conjunct Jupiter. Mercury, right, kind of backs up into Venus in Capricorn, and then the moon, still of course in Aries, squares the sun. Hello. And sextiles Mars. So here's the deal. Remember what Mercury retrograde is. Remember what a retrograde is, right? Retrograde is simply an invitation to move your efforts inward. It's a shift of your focus to inward. It's an invitation to take a breath, to stop, to turn around, look back, reassess, reevaluate, right? The way that you have been moving. And then you have the opportunity to recalibrate and recreate any of the patterns that you may not be finding useful. So it's about shifting your expression, right, in Mercury retrograde. It's about minding your ideas. Here's the deal. The moon is in Aries, and the moon also conjuncts Jupiter right after all of this. So this is kind of a push-pull sort of energy, right? Remember, Mars is in retrograde as well. So this is about ideas and what we do with them, turning those plans and strategies, right? Turning those, turning your compulsion for action, right? We have a moon in Aries. We've got Mars in retrograde. Turning that compulsion for action into plans and strategies, right? Allow your heart to be fulfilled in all of those beginnings. So make this the inception of your planning instead of trying to take a step off of a cliff that might not have down there what you require. Right, this is a first quarter moon and it's sextiling Mars. So make sure that you're taking that assessment seriously. On Friday, the 30th of December, that moon in Aries conjuncts Chiron. The sun quincunxes Mars, and the moon sextiles Saturn. So again, mind your tendencies to be defensive, right? Or shrink back into any old postures. And we talk about postures as that place where you're just hanging on to being right, whether or not you really believe it, whether or not it's actually serving you. On Friday, the 30th, you may feel like picking a fight, or you may feel a little picked on. So stop and witness your reality, right? Ask the questions. What is actually happening here? What is the truth? Right? Where could you be leaning into a story or a defensiveness or a posture that is not accurate, right? Something that's not true. You know, how are you either picking up on something that is not accurate? How are you picking up that rope, right? Tug of war takes two people holding onto that rope. You get to choose to let it go, and then there's no tug of war, right? So are you holding onto the rope and co-creating something that doesn't need to be or not, right? It's a day to mind your choices and choose wisely. Now, listen up. On the 31st, on New Year's Eve day, the moon in Aries squares Mercury in retrograde, squares Venus and Pluto. This is a whole lot of cardinal square energy in the morning. And then the moon will move into Taurus. And of course, Venus will conjunct Pluto, right? Lots of Pluto up here, y'all. So the deal is this. Ooh, I buzz? Cat hair. Cardinal square energy. So from the get-go, this day is going to feel a little bit tight, a little bit off. You may have interrupted or disturbing dreams, right? And you know those kind that you can't really shake off, like they're still kind of around, lingering, haunting you. That's okay. You have a couple of options, because as the moon moves into Taurus, that feeling is going to change a little bit. Wow. In the qualitative sense, right? So you get to either lean into some internal shifting and solution, or you can keep that struggle up. It's just all about whether you're going to dig your heels in, or whether you're going to kind of focus on your sensual five senses expression as that moon moves into Taurus, right? Finding perhaps self-care that will trigger some self-soothing for you, like I said, or you can dig your heels in. You get to choose. And almost as the day turns, when Venus conjuncts Pluto, that's a pretty good depth aspect, right? So make those choices knowing that home is what you're chasing, right? That moon in Taurus is going to give you the opportunity to really find that sense of home, right? Taurus loves home, sensual, right? What do you smell? What do you see? What do you taste? What do you feel like? Or you can just dig in your heels and be like, nah, no, that's not working. So choose wisely, especially since this is the last day of 2022, and you get to choose how you see it out the door and how you welcome in 2023, right? You're making that choice all the time. So on Sunday, the 1st of January, here's the deal. This is a beautiful, well-aspected day. The moon in Taurus squares the sun, right? Trines the sun. And then we have the moon conjunct Uranus. So here's the deal. Your head and your heart are both in Earth today. So it's a perfect day to build, right? Don't get in your own way. As the moon conjuncts Uranus, change can manifest super easily. So you get to allow it, right? You get to allow it. You get to decide what that looks like and what that feels like for you. So honestly, this is really a week to tend your own fixations, your unhealed parts and places, right? And to really work on integration, to kind of do that physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual deep clean. Yeah, and always remember to look it in the face this week, right? We don't want to leave anything swept under the rug. We don't want to leave anything behind. We don't want to haul any baggage forward. So you get to feel how you want, right, as that calendar flips. So choosing wisely. Let's talk. On Monday, we've got Judgment and the 5 of Pentacles, right? Judgment is how we bring ourselves to the table, right? How we assess what's been going on, how we assess our progress to date, how we judge where we want to go. And the 5 of Pentacles is about feeling perhaps scarcity or lack, or like we're missing something, like something is left out in the cold, like we don't have what we need, right? Like our resources are not quite there. Generally, the 5 of Pentacles is about something external to us that has created that situation for us. However, what we know is that our claiming of that is part of the situation itself, right? So we talk about this as a beautiful day to make a vision board, right? To really start getting into your widest vision, and allow Saturn and Pluto to really be that depth charge for how we are in expression, right, of what we know as home. This is inception energy, right? We're judging. What are we letting go? Whoop, hello. What are we letting go of? What are we going to relinquish? Our belief in scarcity, our belief that we have anything, or that we don't have anything that we require, because we know that the universe always at least gives us what we need in order to solve our own problems. Here's the deal. There's that whole concept of, if you can ask the question, the answer is already there, right? If you can formulate the question, you already have access to the answer. That is the nature of the universal infinity that is our cosmic consciousness. And so if you can create the answer, if you can ask this question, why don't I have this? Well, you already know how to get it, right? Why don't I have it gives you the inception. Start creating that what comes next, right? Without that belief in scarcity. How about that? How about that? Can you do it? Can you do it? How exciting. We have the Queen of Pentacles and the Nine of Pentacles on Tuesday. I love these two. So Queen of Pentacles and Nine of Pentacles, right? This is about having everything that you need. What a great answer to Monday. And the Queen of Pentacles is the embodiment of that answer. Not only am I able to provide everything that I require because I have faith that it's already mine, right? I already know how to go about getting it. I already know where it exists in my heart, in my soul. I already know that all resources flow from me, flow to me, flow through me. And then that Queen is the experiencer of that, right? And as we have this beautiful Capricorn sun, this is all about staying in that flow, right? Not getting sidetracked by any shoulda, coulda, woulda, right? Don't numb out. Be right in it. That Queen of Pentacles, she's right there. She will, she will not let your imagination drive. She wants your boots on the ground. She wants you in your sensual experience. What do I have? Everything, absolutely everything, right? Yeah, absolutely. Wednesday, look at that big shift from earth to air. And we've got so much water in the sky. So we've got the Ace of Swords and the Six of Swords. This is about brand new ideas that allow you to move away from anything that is painful, turbulent, not fulfilling, anything that is keeping you in that belief of lack, keeping you in that belief of scarcity. This is about all of the ways that the universe just hands you the answers, right? So we talked about this as that teed up for connectivity day for both 3D and the ethereal. Of course, you have the Ace of Swords, which is handing you that brand new idea, that brand new belief, that brand new concept, right? So we talked about making sure that you're staying fluid in every way possible. Stay floaty and get your lists written and your plans drawn up, right? This is the day to create your words, your documents, your lists. Get them done today. How are you going to do it? Write it down. Write it down, right? Write it down. Okay, so on Thursday, Four of Cups and the Magician, fascinating pair, absolutely fascinating. So the Four of Cups, she is bored with whatever she's got going on. She's like, well, I mean, I understand that I have all these blessings, right? But I'm just going to look away, right? I'm just going to look away. The Magician keeps saying, no, you're creating right now. You're creating in that moment. This is the day that Mercury goes retrograde, right? So this is also the day that the moon moves into Aries and the day that Mercury conjuncts Venus. So here's the deal. Shift your focus to your internal expression and mind your ideas, right? Mind your ideas. We talked about this as a day of push-pull. Yes, yes, right? No, things have power over me. No, I have power over my creation. I'm not very happy with what's manifested in my life. Well, guess what? I am the manifester, right? So allow your heart to be fulfilled in all of your beginning plans, right? Allow your heart to be fulfilled in all of your beginning plans, and then you have absolutely nothing to look away from, right? If you're fulfilled, all you do is celebrate, right? All you do is celebrate. Beautiful. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting day that day. On Friday, we have got the Knight of Cups and the Sun. This is such a lovely pair too. Interesting too, because this is that day where we talked about minding your defenses and your potential for shrinking back into old postures. Any kind of way that you might feel like picking a fight, right? Stopping to witness the reality, asking your heart, oh, where am I? What am I really? Oh, look, maybe I'll just celebrate, right? Maybe I have nothing here that I'm lacking, right? The Sun is that card of fulfillment, optimism, contentment, bliss, right? So how can you create more of that? What is really happening? Are you pulling the rope? Are you? Do you need to? Do you really need to? Or is your life fulfilled outside of needing to be in somebody's business, right? I think it's interesting that that Five of Wands, which is that card of posturing, comes up the next day. But we also talked about this as being that day of tight and off, right? So we have the Wheel, which is completion. Come on, this is integration. This is cycles. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. When we talk about this whole week in general, being about minding our fixations, minding our obsessions, minding our unhealed places, and really seeking integration and wholeness, right? Allowing for that deep clean, putting down all the places. And so your options, we talked about this, right? You might feel a little off. Your options here are to lean into your own internal solution or to keep up the struggle. What are you going to do? Find your self-care or dig your heels in? You get to pick, right? This is wasted energy. This is welcome energy, right? Whatever's going on, it's part of the process. Hello, 2023. So Sunday, the 1st of January. Look, we start this yearly cycle with the Emperor and the Page of Cups. How lovely is that? The Emperor, of course, being the sum of all kings, right? Absolute mastery with the Sun trining the Moon in Earth energies. And then here we have this lovely Page of Cups. What do you need to feel fulfilled? What do you need to feel satisfied? Here, let me hand it to you. Your cup is full, right? Your cup is full. Why, yes, thank you. It is. All we have to do is witness and allow that change, right? With the Sun, with the Moon conjunct Uranus and the Sun trining the Moon. Perfect day to build. Perfect day to build. Don't get in your own way. Don't overthink it, right? The Emperor has that capacity to be an overthinker. Don't get in your own way. No. Just mind your business. Get integrated. And remember that what you're doing is feeling how you want it to be. And knowing that, guess what? No matter what, you're calling it in. You do you. I mean, every day, right? This is what you get to do. You do you. Just stay in your own lane. Stay out of other people's business. Stay out of their comparisons. Stay out of their comparisons. Just stay in your lane. You have nothing to prove to anyone but yourself. Okay, this is a new deck, brand new. My lovely friend Sarah Ludlow recommended it to me, and so I love it just as much as she did. I love it that we have a 10 here, so this is a 1 for our brand new year, right? Root Girl, the disowned self. Yeah. Let's see what that's all about. Shall we? Sure. The disowned self, hidden beauty, the need for acceptance and love. Okay. Want to see it? You got it. Root Girl sits shivering, unclean and naked at the base of the tree of self. She is unloved, unwanted, and shunned for her deformities. She has no home, but is safe burrowing underground to dwell near the deepest roots of this sacred tree. Who is she to you? Could this urchin be the one part of you that reintegrated can lead you to wholeness and true purpose? This is a part of you, the embodiment of a deeply flawed perception of your failures manifesting as guilt and shame, right? When you project envy onto others or any emotion or instinct that you've learned to repress or deem unnatural, it's this homeless child self crying for attention, acceptance, and love. You want to lash out, ignore it, push it aside, right? All the while refusing to acknowledge this ugly quality as belonging to you. But if you would only look into the root girl's eyes and see the beauty and the unmet need, your unmet need, you would realize that this part of you asks for compassion and understanding. This part of you was born when you were wounded and conditioned to believe you're not whole and that your expression of self is somehow too much or too little. You may have even inherited this creature from your ancestors. However, it was this child self came to be curled up at the roots of your sacred tree self. It's time to welcome her into your heart, right? Absolutely. When you do, everything you've been searching for becomes illuminated and your path lights up with renewed purpose. When you come to love Root Girl and claim her as your own, accepting her and your humanity, she is transformed just as you are. Then all manner of magic begins to arrive in abundant form. Look for the beauty, right? So our beliefs, what we need to move away from, what we want to judge, right? What we don't integrate, what we want to hold out in front of us, whether to spar or for safekeeping. This is what keeps us from our integration. It's what keeps us from that fullness, that wholeness, right? That is inherently ours. You get to pick. You get to make those judgments, right? You get to make those judgments. So I'm just saying, y'all, make them. Be blessed. Have a safe holiday and a beautiful flip of the Gregorian calendar. Yeah, big blessings, guys. Take care.